Hello again. Well, I love a challenge. You know I love to experiment in the kitchen. And this little recipe was sent to me by Pat McGrath. So I'm going to give it a try. It's actually a variation of the wacky cake recipe that I already have online. Now, wacky cake was a recipe they did during the Depression and the World War II days because there's no eggs, no milk. You can just use these ingredients. There is a bit of a twist though, and I'll show you that as we get going. By the way, Pat, I asked Martin, and I get $3 for every 1,000 views, so this takes off. I'm cutting you in, baby. I'll let you know. Let's get going. Here are our ingredients. They're virtually the very same, except they're a bigger amount because I'm making a 9 by 13. My regular wacky cake only made an 8 by 8. And the liquid is going to be different. So I have here a 9 by 13 pan. Don't grease it, but in this is 2½ cups of flour. Over here is 1½ cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of cocoa. That's the cocoa I use. Martin really likes dark chocolate, so that's the cocoa I'm using. In here is 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. This is 2/3 of a cup of cooking oil. I'm using vegetable oil. This is 2 tablespoons of vinegar, a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, hang on to your hats, boys and girls. 2 cups of cold coffee. Yes, 2 cups of cold coffee. And then in here I have a 1/4 cup of sugar plus some cinnamon. Make your own cinnamon sugar. That's going to go on top. Now, one thing I did find out was that to make a video really take off, I need to put in the title, I could eat this every day, or I make this 5 days a week. Those recipes have millions of views. It always cracks me up. Okay, we're going to get going on this. Let me get serious. I know this may seem wackadoodle, but here we go. You have not greased this 9 by 13, and I'm going to pour the sugar in here. I'm going to pour the cocoa powder in here, plus the salt and baking soda. Now I'm going to use a fork and mix this around. I thought it was appropriate. My dad loved wacky cake. So I'm using one of his Navy forks that he brought home from the service, kind of a souvenir. I don't know if he got it during World War II or Korea, but I'm using your fork, Dad. He loved this cake. Okay, I'm just going to finish putting this in. Then we're going to add the liquids and pop it in the oven. It's that easy. I want to show you as you're doing this, you end up with cocoa in little nooks and crannies, so I'm using a spatula. That seems to be working too. The main thing is I've got flour all over the place. The main thing is you do not want to beat this. Almost done. Okay, here's where we're going to make the magic happen. Now this recipe is different if you see my wacky cake one too. You make a well for each of the liquids. I'm going to put the oil in there. Well, I didn't make a very good well, did I? Vanilla's going in here. And this is the white vinegar. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of cold coffee on top. In the original recipe you use cold water. Now I'm going to stir it together. And you stir it together, you don't beat it. Using Dad's trusty Navy fork. By the way, I say Navy fork because it says U.S. Navy on it. Let me continue to bring this together. Remember, you stir, you don't beat. Okay, I've switched back over to my spatula. I think that works better, but you're not going to beat this. And Pat said he doesn't like coffee, but likes this cake. I don't like coffee. I love the smell. So we'll see. And come to think of it, my dad didn't drink coffee. How could a Navy man not drink coffee? There, we're just about done here. See, you want to get that flour mixed in and just do it smoothly and slowly. Then I'm going to spread it out and sprinkle on, I should say, the cinnamon sugar. Remember, that's a 1/4 cup of sugar with cinnamon added, and you can make it as dark as you like. Okay. Well, Pat, let's give this a twirl. Like I said, you might be making a lot of money here, at least maybe $3. Into a 350-degree oven this goes for 30 to 40 minutes. You want to have your pokey stick come out clean. I did this 35 to 40 minutes. It's got a nice crust on top. I used my little pokey stick. It's a skewer. I keep it on hand. And it's done. Comes out clean. See that? Let me put some on a plate. I like the cake has a slight little crust on top. I like that. And I tasted it and I can't believe that's coffee in there. I do believe the taste of the cake is a little richer than when I used the water, so I might use the coffee again. Now if you're used to having a cake with frosting, you can put the frosting on. I just use powdered sugar, butter, milk, and a little vanilla. But this does not really need it. It's very nice. It's very moist. Very nice simple cake, and it makes a 9 by 13. Well, thank you, Pat. I like that one. Remember, your check's in the mail. Until next time, bye-bye.